Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I've got a game for you between Nico-Nico-Nii as our US and Deliri0us as our Africa Corps. Map today is going to be Langres. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm on a mission to pronounce things more correctly, ever since I was told that Wehrmacht is in fact pronounced that way, as opposed to whatever the heck I was saying. I think it was Warvachekt. That's not right. It's Wehrmacht. In any case, both these players very highly rated. Nico-Nico-Nii is 46, I want to say, as Africa Corps, and actually his worst ranked army is US with 96. So he's clearly on that grind to get that elo up. Deliri0us, on the other hand, is ranked 29 as Africa Corps. So both players very highly rated. Slightly unusual build for Deliri0us here, going 2 Panzer Pioneer into Motorbike into 250. A lot of times you'll see folks go for Panzer Grenadier instead of Panzer Pioneer. You'll see what he's got in mind with that type of build. US player, very standard. Scout Squad into Rifleman. So, very cool. Now, Nico, our US player, did upgrade this Scout Squad with the Recce package immediately and threw out a flare here to see what his opponent was doing. I don't think I've ever seen a player do that before, so very cool. 250 on the way, second Rifleman on the field as well. So I'm wondering if our German player is thinking about going for something like a double flamethrower or a double grenade launcher. Getting right up in the face of these scouts for maximum effect. Very cool. Panzer Pioneers getting on the side here, going to try and capture away that fuel point from his opponent. Riflemen are going to have something to say about that. Going to duel with this 250 Panzer Grenadiers. Look like they're headed down this way. Players trading fuel points on the left side here. So off to an aggressive match start here. Here come the Panzer Grenadiers on the top side here, flanking these units. Are going to get into medium cover there. 250 having to back up to the second Panzer Pioneer squad. Dropping off the squad and bailing out so it doesn't risk losing the unit there. Smart play. Panzer Grenadiers getting on the side here. That first Rifleman section is going to have to bail out. Second Rifleman section on the scene, though. First section managing to hold down that house. Nice flank here, getting right up in these Panzer Pioneers' faces. Gonna deal a ton of damage at close range. Panzer Grenadiers gonna try and stop that from happening, but... Man, very close fight. I can't tell who's gonna win. Looks like it is gonna be the Germans here. Rifleman going to give up the area, trying to chase it down. I don't think he's going to get him because of the hedgerows. This squad has stood in this house for a very long time. I think ultimately he will have to give up this side. So while that was happening, this motorbike's been capturing territory. Both players just trading back and forth. Scout squad and bike just doing their thing. Another Rifleman showing up out of nowhere. I mean, it wasn't out of nowhere, but I didn't see him coming. And is going to win that fight for our US player. So well done by him. That was an extended 3-minute fight. Scout Squad is going to lose to this level 1 bike with its mark ability, making it easier to hit that unit. Very cool. So for that entire duration, our German player controlled this bottom fuel point. So regardless of who was controlling that top fuel, both players, or our German did come out ahead on fuel overall. So we're probably going to see a slightly early flak half-track from him. Did add on an MG34 for some crowd control. Rifleman gonna put a stop to this bike here. Don't think he's unlocked grenades, so no risk of an AT grenade coming out there. Oh, he has upgraded to grenades. Okay, so there was a risk. Captain on the field. So our U.S. player has gone for that infantry section support. What is it called? Infantry support center. See if he wants to pick up any upgrades in there, or if he wants to stay on. If he wants to go for some light vehicles. Panzer Grenadiers upgraded to the MG34, unloading right in his opponent's face there. This player's going to have to be respectful of that unit. Does a ton of that MG34 does a ton of damage. He's going to try and chase away these riflemen on the top side. Should be able to get that done. Riflemen are going to secure the point for that before that happens, though. AT grenade coming out. Going to try and force away the half-track. Looks like it's going to work. Half-track leaving behind this unit while it bails out. And those riflemen got to bail. Grenade coming out. Should see it, though. No problem. Might chase these riflemen on their way out. I think they're going to get out. No problem. Panzer Pioneers looking like they want to take this point, but not committing. Big push out of the base here from our U.S. player. Gonna push those Pioneers back. Flare checking out, trying to see if the heavy machine gun's on site. It is not nearby. But excellent control of the fuel points. I mean, excellent map control in general from our German here. I love seeing his use of that 250. Being really active with that unit. Fighting, defending his squads from losing health. The whole 9 yards. It's really nice to see. So oddly enough, our U.S. player has controlled the victory points. Well, not oddly. Our U.S. player has controlled the victory points better than his German opponent, while the German's been focused on fuel. No real surprise there. I talk about it most games, but folks I agree with the decision to ignore the victory points and just focus on resources, because if you have more fuel than your opponent, you're going to be able to tech up further, get out those scarier units. AT grenade going to put an end to this bike here. Is going to blow up his own mine there with that grenade. That's a little unfortunate for him. That's so cool. Our German player put down a mine, but the AT grenade's going to take it out. It's not something you see very often. Nice flank by these riflemen. Pushing away that heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun clearly wanting to set up. He's going to get that done, but riflemen in heavy cover can sit there all day long. More riflemen getting aggressive. And it does look like our German could end up securing that top left side while our U.S. player secures the bottom right. Heavy machine gun doing a number on these units here. Another flank coming in from those riflemen we saw earlier. Should have vision of that. Maybe doesn't. Rifleman going to hop in this house. Avoid getting suppressed. Half-track getting aggressive. Going to capture this cutoff point. Rifleman just doing some damage from afar on those Panzer Grenadiers there. A lot of fuel built up for our German player. I'm curious what he wants to do with it. You'll see a lot of players add on the Flak Panzer, of course, but our German feels like he doesn't need that, and obviously he doesn't. The meta for the US player right now is definitely to add on AT half-tracks. Very, very popular at the moment. Another AT grenade. Thinking better of it. Didn't want to waste the munitions without being able to pick up the unit, and looks like our German player is going to get out of there. Nice cutoff capture by those Panzer Grenadiers there, denying his opponent that income on the right side. Rifleman did manage to pick up the I mean, in fact, our U.S. player has all 3 of the victory points again, continuing to tick down his opponent. Well done. So again, our German player adding on another Panzergrenadier squad. And just not interested in spending his fuel. I mean, it's working for him, right? I think he's doing a good job of controlling the map without that fuel. Stun grenade from those Panzer Pioneers, gonna lock down those riflemen for a short period. Heavy machine gun, gonna crowd control these riflemen here. Press them down. Light machine guns, absolutely wrecking these riflemen at long range. Smoke grenade gonna save these riflemen for a short period here. Another flank here, AT grenade on the half track. Probably isn't gonna be able to pick it up, but is gonna push him back. Rifleman getting right on top of these Pioneers, trying to force them back. Grenade gonna do the job finally there. German moving into this bottom side in a big way and is going to continue to control that fuel. So a seemingly dominant performance from our German in terms of map control, resource control, right? I know he's behind on victory points. Is looking to rectify that now by capturing all 3 of them. Interestingly enough, he's ignoring, well, and I think it's a good call, he's ignoring all this territory his opponent controls on that top side, instead going for the cutoff points, looking to fill in his backline a little bit later. Panzer Grenadiers managing to take that cutoff point, and the map just blinking red. Scouts are managed to pick up this top side, recognizing his opponent is strong on that bottom side. Great choice there. Scouts were deep there, again, picking up a ton of territory in behind his opponent's lines. Should get out of there no problem. Riflemen setting up to deal with these Panzer Grenadiers here in heavy cover against this heavy machine gun. But is going to give up that position, realizing he's surrounded. German player has spent his fuel. Curious what he's got in mind there. Looks like he went for the fire support elements. Might be seeing him add on... well, I don't know. Oh, I guess he has gone for the Panzer Company. So he should have... does have enough to add on a Panzer III here. Might actually see him go for a Stuka. And I actually think that'd be a really good choice because his opponent is anticipating vehicles. Adding on that AT gun now. Grenades coming out, gonna drive away the heavy machine gun. Big old fight here. Riflemen moving in from every angle. And it is gonna be a Panzer III for our German player. US player really struggling for fuel, so staying on this low tech for now. Let's see what he must have done a research there. Just adding on the motor pool. We may see him go... well, I don't know what he wants to do. I mean, I know he added on the anti-tank gun. I'd be surprised if we saw him spend any fuel at all. Nice pickup on that half-track there. AT gun from the fog of war. And the rifleman finishing him off there. Rifleman seemingly losing that fight, but the scout's in there to save the day. And, this is the superior capture power of the U.S. Army here, right? His opponent has a lot of high veterancy, high impact units, and including this Panzer III. But the Panzer III, of course, not able to capture territory, so U.S. using his superior squad count to control large parts of the map, despite seeming like he's outmatched by his opponent's units. Second AT gun on the way, of course, to deal with this Panzer III. I think that's a great choice, especially given his lack of fuel income. Either player has locked in their battle group, which is kind of interesting to see. Maybe waiting to decide. It does feel like our US player is going to end up going for heavy weapons here. I don't think that he has the fuel income to tech to medium tanks. This scout squad's got to go. Hopefully he sees it. He does at the last second there. Big grenade coming out here. See at the last second there. Scout's going to get in this house again. Heavy machine gun still on site. And the superior cover from this German is going to make our US player's life difficult. AT grenades getting good shots on the side of that Panzer III there. Ooh, rifleman going down to that Panzer III is painful though. And German player recognizing his advantage, going to push all these units all the way back. Scout squad actually doing a number on that MG on the side there. Riflemen rolling out of the base to meet these Panzer Grenadiers. Going to try and stop this cutoff point capture from happening. Looks like he should be able to do that. And German going to respect the blob there. Can't sit in something like that for very long. Panzer III repaired up a little bit back on the field. AT guns set up and ready for that, though. Do have an angle. Missing the first shot there. Grenade's going to drive the units out of that building. AT guns getting aggressive here. German player does see it. Grenade in the retreat path, trying to pick up that unit as they're running away. I don't think he's going to get him. Trying very hard, though. Scouts on the top side, just trying to sneak away a little bit of territory. Again, look at that victory point counter. Down to 100 points is our German. He really, really needs to be focusing those victory points from now until the end of the game. Panzer III repaired up again. Back on the field using the hedgerows for cover. Might see our US player may want to attack through the hedgerows, though, but the Panzer III getting really aggressive. AT guns covering each other, of course. Really nicely done there. He's going to have to bail because here comes the Panzer Grenadiers. German players added on a Stuka. Oh, good first hit on that AT gun. Does look like it's barely going to get out of there. Panzer Grenadiers managed to pick it up, though. And looks like he wants to try and steal it away, and I think he's going to be able to do that if that's what he wants to do. Deciding not to, perhaps. Panzer III pushing in, going to destroy this AT gun. Second AT gun getting shots, but of course is going to go down to these Panzer Grenadiers. Some decent shots, though. And Panzer III is going to pick up the first AT gun, probably going to bail out. Big surround by our US player here. Might pick up that Panzer Grenadier on the retreat. That'd be really big for him. Nicely done. Might even pick up the second one. That's a lot of firepower all in the same area. Grenade in the retreat path. Did pick up one. Picked up 3 models. And not going to be able to get that last. Oh, did get him. Another wipe there. That's freaking huge for our US player. And wow, despite our German's huge tech advantage, he's struggling hard for units that can control the map. Control points on the map, I should say. That Panzer III is obviously going to do a number on those US riflemen. Scout squad, looks like they meant to capture that point, but are just barely standing outside this range there. US player very focused on what's happening just outside his base. Panzer III is going to pick up this AT gun. Riflemen were trying to stop that from happening. Barrage going to interrupt the... Barrage as a last-minute attempt to interrupt that capture. And really, really interesting. Another squad wipe for our US player here. Potentially. Nice pickup there. Wow. Wow. German player losing a ton of units there. Does have control of 2 victory points, though. Did add on a assault grenadier, mechanized assault grenadiers here. Charging in to stop that capture from happening. So, you know, US player doesn't have any ways to deal with this Panzer III, at least not right now. Is adding on another AT gun. But German's going to have to do some serious work to stay in this game. Both players on a knife's edge here. Is that a... That's got to be a German mine. Wow. U.S. player just managing to dodge it there. Rifleman capturing away 2 victory points here. German's going to have to put a stop to that. Stuka's going to have a barrage here very shortly. 20 seconds. Looks like the U.S. player is going to make the most of that. Oh, unfortunately for him, stepping outside of the capture circle there. So he's not going to control that point. I think the Assault Grenadiers may have been able to stop it. Grenade trying to stop them from advancing. Panzer III getting involved here. Rifleman got a bail. AT gun set up on this Panzer III. Good hit on the rear armor there. Rifleman gonna try and capture that victory point. Barrage trying to pick up the AT gun. Not gonna happen. Assault Grenadiers unafraid. Charging in here. Rifleman giving up that point. Another nice hit by the AT gun. Should be able to get out of there. Oh, gonna lose the AT gun, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. German might try to capture that. Again, not gonna go for it. Rifleman gonna remount this gun, hopefully for him. Scout, doing it with the scouts, gonna lose the scouts. Chose not to at the last second. Nicely done. Smoke grenade from our... I think that was from the Assault Grenadiers. Stopping them from being able to mount the gun and shoot. Is going to mount it now. Attack ground through the smoke here. Potentially missing because of the attack ground. Ooh, wow. Wiping the squad with an attack ground back from the Panzer III. Is going to try and pick up this AT gun. Should not get it. Remounting the AT gun now. Question mark. Yes. Another good hit. Another smoke grenade. That was actually from the scouts. Oh, and I guess that first one was from the scouts, too. The scouts retreated on top of the AT gun, blocking his own vision. That's so unfortunate for our U.S. player. German player adding on a flame panzer. I think that's a really good add right here. Again, recognizing that his opponent does not have the fuel income to be able to do what he needs to do. U.S. player adding on his 4th AT gun of the game. The U.S. player did go for heavy weapons. He is quite a ways away. Let me quickly check. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess he does have access to the Pershing tank, but he is... What is that? Looks like 4 minutes from a... Oh, man, attacking ground through the brush there, almost picking up that Panzer. Oh, is going to get it. Nice hit there through the attack ground. Panzer III in combination with the Stuka going to wipe and probably destroy this gun here. And yeah, nice pickup by our German, but nice pickup by our U.S. player. Oh man, still not dead. Might be able to capture it. It's going to be close. Another miss by the German. AT gun on the side here. Sprinting after this Panzer III. Shouldn't be able to get it there. Stuka using a walking barrage this time. Ooh, big hit on that Rifleman on the retreat. Didn't quite get him. And wow. This game has been totally insane. Artillery barrage from the captain there. Gonna force away this heavy machine gun. Might even pick him up. That'd be really nice for our U.S. player if he could get him on the retreat. Not gonna happen because the squad is pinned. Wow. This game continues to be on a knife's edge. German player down to just 60 points here. U.S. player is hopefully gonna walk away with 2 victory points here after all said and done. German player down to just 4 infantry squads, really just 3 with a heavy machine gun supporting. U.S. player continuing to be active with all his units. I mean, he literally has 6 infantry squads. That's a ton of capture power. Riflemen trying to fight away these high veterancy grenadiers. Grenade coming out. Lots going on across the map. Grenadier's going to eat that grenade, but this assault grenadier section going to put a stop to anything there. U.S. player way far forward with his riflemen, scouting the fog of war for the tank. Assault grenadiers going to push this point with the support of the heavy machine gun. Grenade going to push that heavy machine gun back. But those assault grenadiers are extremely lethal up close. Stuka barrage. Where's that coming down? Again on the AT gun, gonna wipe them there. And the assault grenadiers are gonna decapture that point. So stopping the bleeding, which is absolutely critical. Rifleman going to pick up the point once again. Excuse me, pick up the AT gun once again. Panzer III in behind these two AT guns. I didn't even see that. Another barrage there, walking this time. Going to pick up both AT guns, and he is going to be able to destroy the AT guns this time. Rifleman, considering getting on that weapon, I think that would be a poor decision. He is going to do it. He's going to immediately lose the AT gun, and then hopefully doesn't lose these on the retreat. Shouldn't do. And German player managing once again to destroy both AT guns. US player is unfortunately bleeding a lot of manpower here, so it's going to be tough for him to get up to that Pershing. German going to push his advantage here. Doesn't know what's in the fog of war, but choosing to charge in anyway. Actually think that's a reasonable decision. Might be able to destroy some infrastructure here. Not going to be able to get that med tent. AT gun's going to drive him back here. Stuka very close by here. Might going to be barraging the base here. US player's going to get out of there just in time. Captain running into the barrage there on the retreat. Is going to lose that med station, but not going to lose any units. So there is still time for our US player to get that Pershing on the field here. He just needs another 30 seconds of manpower income without losing too many units here. Does look like that's going to be reality. 15 seconds here. Oh man, this game is really, really scary for our US. It's scary for both players. I mean, German player's down to 37 points here. And he has to bleed his opponent for a long, long time. And there's the Pershing, hopefully. Call it in, please. Calling it in now. And it is our US player's time to shine once again. Our German player does have a second Panzer III, but not a lot of anti-tank options. A walking barrage here. Gonna try and pick up some units in the base there. Did manage to get the motor pool, denying more AT guns to his opponents. So basically our... Oh, it wasn't the motor pool, it was the infantry. I don't actually know what that building's called because you never see it get destroyed. But you'd think I'd know. A barracks, yeah. Of course it's called a barracks. Any case, Pershing on the field here, getting a little aggressive, does not have the infantry support it needs. AT grenade coming out from these Panzer Grenadiers. That's a scary place for that Pershing to be. Another Panzer III coming out, is going to charge this Pershing. That would be pretty freaking devastating to lose it. Getting aggressive here, not afraid. Of course, it can bounce a lot of those small caliber Panzer III shells. Pershing already Veteran C1, another barrage coming out. Is that going to hit the base? Going to hit this side over here, nice move. Almost picking up those Panzer Pioneers on the retreat. Front armor being presented to these Panzer IIIs. Panzer IIIs looking like they want to get aggressive here. Deciding better of it. Riflemen trying to pick up the point but have to bail. And wow, this is really scary for our US player being incredibly aggressive with that Pershing. Might get him. Nice pickup there. Wow. What a totally insane game this has been. US player blobbing on this center point. Going to pick up both of these victory points from the looks of it. German player should have another barrage available. 8 seconds here. Does have enough munitions for it. And Captain looking to maybe try and take away this cutoff point. At least he's thinking about it, scouting ahead. Engineer being added on by our US player. Of course, he desperately needs to be able to repair this Pershing. Up until this point, he has not been able to. Now, our German does have a ton of fuel still. Looks like he is going to get this on the retreat. Barely not going to do enough damage there. Oh man, this Panzer III is going to get this Pershing from the looks of it. Oh, bouncing off the front there, losing to an AT grenade. Pershing's going to die to the... Oh my god, losing it to that anti-tank loiter despite being way outside of the ring of influence there. Engineers on the field. Panzer III still able to fight. trying to deny his opponent this capture for as long as humanly possible, ticking him down another, what, 10 points there? 8 points? Wow. Wow. This game continues to go on. US player re-adding the medical station there. And I think with that Pershing going down, it's going to be really, really tough for our US player to come back in this game. I mean, he still has a ton of infantry here. Oh, huge barrage connecting right there on the very edge. That was a lucky hit for our German there. Now following up with a walking, might see it walk right through here. And that is what happened, but the US player is going to move. Retreating though. Yeah, I think this is a really tough spot for our US player because the German has all the fuel in the world, and he did manage to pick up that Pershing, and our US player is out of gas here. I mean, he can add, technically he can add on some AT guns, but he just doesn't have the manpower for it. And despite keeping all of his squads alive, all these squads alive for most of the game, being denied all that fuel really came back to get him. And I don't think that he added on his infantry support section. I'm going to take a quick look. I can't. It's not going to let me. Wow. What a phenomenal game. Look at that attrition. Look at that difference in damage. Our US player did an excellent job staying in that game despite getting beaten down at every corner, and it was those squad wipes in the mid game really kept him in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did, and I will see you in the next one.